Dear friends, after hearing today's painful incident, all of you will be heartbroken and your tears will not stop. A real brother, in the name of honor, terribly killed his poor sister by falsely accusing her. Poor Hafiz Quran, a noble sister. She folded her hands in front of her brother and kept pleading, "Brother, there is no such thing," but that cruel brother felt a little pity for his sister. This is a very old and true incident. In a village, a girl named Sugra lived with her parents. Sugra was a devout Hafiz and read the Quran and namaz 5 times a day. This is how Sugra's mother died suddenly. Sugra was only 15 years old, and Sugra's father Murad was still young, so all the relatives consulted Sugra's father. They said, "You should get married for the second time, so that you can go to your work peacefully, and there should be someone to take care of your young Jahan daughter." But Murad Saheb replied, "My daughter is a shy and bad character. I have no fear of my daughter staying alone or with someone. Just stay with me. I will not marry again. I know how a sleeping mother treats her children." The villagers started saying, "Murad, all 5 fingers are not of the same type. It is possible that your daughter's luck will open up, and she will be treated like a real mother instead of a sleeping mother." On the insistence of everyone to find love, Murad Saheb got married for the second time, and on the very first day he explained to his wife, "I have done this marriage for the sake of my daughter. You should also love my daughter as much as I do. She is not just my daughter, she is a piece of my heart." Well, Sugra's new mother also loved Sugra very much. She used to pamper Sugra, but in those days, Sugra's mother became helpless and started living in a withdrawn state. Sugra thought that her mother was unwell, and that's why she was acting this way. Sugra's attitude changed a bit. All the household work fell on the shoulders of Sugra. Then, the moment of happiness also came. Sugra's brother was born. Sugra loved her sleeping brother very much, and she never had to sleep. She was the same Saniti brother. While doing this, the time came when Sugra's brother had become young, and Sugra's age was passing. Till now, Sugra's parents were not worried about Sugra's marriage. Then, one day, a mountain of sorrow fell upon Sugra. Shugara's father suddenly passed away due to typhoid fever. Shugara started crying bitterly. She sat near her father's dead body and started wailing, "Baba, please come back at once. Your Shugara is crying. Baba, she is yearning to talk to me once. First, my mother left me while yearning like this. And now, Baba, you also did not show loyalty to me and left me. With whom will I live?" Then, after some time, the shroud of Sugara's father was prepared. Burial arrangements were made, and he was laid to rest. Sugra did not like her home that much, and Sugra had a friend named Tayyaba living in the neighborhood. She was also a Hafiz of the Quran and was Alamdeen and was a very good friend of Sugra. When she did not feel like it, she would often go and sit near Tayyaba. Only her brother and her parents lived in Tayyaba's house. Tayyaba's brother was a very kind person. Here, Sugra had made a mistake. She did not know that she had made that mistake. Because of this, her peace and tranquility would be ruined, and even her life would be taken away. Hence, she was forced to prostrate herself in front of Allah Ta'ala, but while her crying was washed away, it was like this Sahara rain which rains a lot, but does not grow anything in this condition. Whoever saw her would be surprised, because this was the girl who tolerated every sorrow with a smile. She never considered her mother as her mother, and used to make every request to her, considering her as her real mother. Even if her mother Sugra had refused to do anything, she would have insisted just like a daughter insists on her real mother. Amma would have asked her brother to order me a ginger burger. Sugra was peeling garlic to prepare a pot for the night, and she started speaking to her mother. This week, for about the 6th time, he had asked his mother to recommend him to his brother, but the result was the same as the previous times. Forced by his passion, he once again asked Amma to sit and ask him, "What have you got addicted to?" Amma threw the knife on the ground and showed her eyes. Mother knew the nature of her son as she knew when he had taken care of his sister. "Amma, I have told you so many times, but you have not ordered it even once. Yes, you also don't have patience, do you?" Amma started staring at him. Taiba also has a brother, isn't Amma? He fulfills every request of his sister. Whenever she wants anything, she brings it immediately. Sugra gave the example of her friend who was her neighbor. Your brother has these breasts. He doesn't have time for that. He is not a worthless person, but he has a lot of time to enjoy with his friends. Sugra replied to his mother. Your tongue has become very long. Your Sugra's mother started showing her eyes, brother, one thing too. Instead of telling you D, you don't say anything to him. Today, Sugra, I don't know why Sugra's mother was in no mood to accept defeat, so Sugra kept staring at me. I want ginger agave. Just after finding Amma silent, Sugra again asked, Are you? She will fill her stomach only after eating the burger. Who will eat what I am preparing in the handi? Feed it to your brother. Anyway, you keep all the good things hidden for him. Sugra replied to her mother. Take this money and go and talk to Taiba's brother. Order a burger. Fed up with her daughter's persistent tongue, Amma took out the money from the palu of her dupatta and handed it over to her. My dear Amma was happy like a child and ran towards Taiba's house, taking the money from her hand. Sugra grew up in that house. The mother considered it her duty to fulfill every happiness of her son Yawar. She often went with Sugra to make Yawar happy. She used to indulge in excesses on every good thing. Yawar had the right to Sugra's share, and the few things left went to Sugra's share. Amma's pampering had made Yawar himself bossy and ill-mannered. Amma used to fulfill Yawar's every wish by taking away Sugra's rights. This kind of action created a feeling of confusion in Yawar. He started treating his sister Sugra's existence like an insect. He would always treat Sugra with a surprised attitude, and it was full of deceit, due to which Sugra was very upset. Instead of love for her brother, bad pride began to develop in her heart. She went to Taiba's house and said, Taiba, ask your brother to order me a ginger burger. Taiba said, Okay, I will order Sugra in some time. Do you like it?
Seeing all this, Sugra's eyes filled with tears and she came back to her home. She was standing in the kitchen when a voice came from behind her mother. Sugra, 2 rotis only for your brother.
You have cooked it only for me. You do this, eat the rice, and leave the rotis for brother.
Sugra got angry. Sugra said, Mother, you feed this rice to brother only. Sugra left the place, stomping her feet. The door was ringing. When she went and opened it, Sugra went to the door with wet eyes and slowly opened the door. She wanted to turn, but instead of Yava, she saw Taiba's brother Zain and got confused.
Sorry, I'd gone to offer namaz, so I got late.
She ate a ginger burger.
He passed the shopper towards Sugra and said, Thank you very much.
Feeling embarrassed at his tearful face, he quickly closed the door after saying, Brother, bring me the thread. I have to embroider my shirt.
It was a holiday. Yavar was lying in Amma's lap.
Sugra was getting oil applied on her head.
Her eyes were going through her dry braid and into Yavar's thick hair. Do you remember all the work as soon as you see my face?
Yavar rudely looked at his sister.
Hey, aren't you looking, brother? He's resting. Let's go from here.
Amma didn't like disturbing her son's rest.
Brother, you are going out now, so Daga.
Yavar was coming out after having evening tea when Sugra cut him off.
I caught it. I don't want to set your shirt on fire.
She snatched the cut piece from his hand and threw it on the ground.
Her heart was filled with pain at his bad voice, and she went towards her room crying, Assalamu alaikum. Today, big people came to our house.
Yavar opened the door and went out. Seeing Sugra's friend Taiba standing at the door.
I want to meet Sugra.
You will meet her too. First meet us. We have been yours for years.
He was waiting, standing there blocking her way.
Will you give way or should I go back?
Taiba said sternly.
We have already opened the door of our hearts. You are the one delaying, Mohtarma.
Yavar told her politely to come inside. Taiba sir gave way and immediately entered inside. For a long time, Yavar kept trying to be a hero in front of Taiba, but Taiba never gave him any attention because there were people in Taiba's own house who were willing to sacrifice their lives.
Didn't even think of combining the attention and love, Sugra. Look what I have brought for you.
Sugra, in anger, made a mixture of her shirt and threw it under the bed. She was lying on the bed staring at the ceiling. Hearing the voice of Tayyaba, she sat up.
What is this, Tayyaba? Tayyaba?
After filling it with your favorite zinger.
Tayyaba said while picking up 2 plates from the plate.
Thank you very much. You know, my brother has sent this for you.
Yes, I told my brother that you like burgers very much.
Well, your brother is very good.
Taking a big bite of the burger, she said,
If my brother is very good, then he should become yours.
Sugar is like a noose. I felt like, drink water.
Tayyaba handed her water from the cooler.
Amma will soon bring you brother's relation. Okay, now I am leaving. I will come with my mother very soon.
Saying this, Tayyaba left the room. Sugra got hungry.
He had already felt his existence flying in the winds. His existence longing for love was filled with the feeling of being a drunkard. Life full of destitute and castes had now taken on a different form. Jane's kind existence settled in his eyes, and so did the smile. Made a place on her lips, sleep remained far away from her eyes throughout the night, and she fell into prostration.
She had just finished the namaz when Amma called out to Sugra to go and get some potatoes from her friend's house.
I will not go.
Mother Sugra refused. Your brother has requested for potato and meat, so there is no potato in the house. What should I do? After what Amma Tayyaba had told him in the night, the world of his heart had changed. Tayyaba. At the mere mention of this, her heartbeats had become irregular. Hey, you run away for your work. Go quickly and bring potatoes to her house.
After adjusting my scarf with my hands, I walked towards Tayyaba's house with a beating heart. Lying ahead, Zain opened the door. As soon as he saw me, a smile appeared on his lips.
I'm interested in Auntie.
With my fingers twisted, I started telling Zain and quickly came back with the potatoes. After coming back, I lay down on the cot, having pleasant dreams. My mother's voice came to me.
I have been calling you for so long, you idiot. Do you listen to what I am saying? That post at Amma's door put bread for brother. I am going to offer namaz.
When Amma said it, I remained silent. The daughter-in-law came to eat, and when my brother Yavar came, he placed the food in front of her with a happy heart. Today, I did not feel like doing any work. If the weather is good, flowers are seen blooming all around. There was a knock on the door, so I got up with the intention of opening the door, but my brother Yavar said,
Leave it, I will see.
I went to the kitchen to cook the tea, and then seeing Tayyaba and her mother in bed, my heart had turned to stone. Yawar. I had gone out and made it if I wanted. I was shocked in the kitchen after hearing Amma's voice.
Order sweets as well, and Tayyaba, who was very close to the tea tray, whispered in her ear.
Seeing the smile on Amma's face, a sense of calmness filled my heart.
Sister, I will answer you after thinking about it.
We are in no hurry. You can consult in your house. Tayyaba's mother said, after some time. Tayyaba and her mother went home. Son, I went to Sugra's house today. I have come talking about the relationship. Tayyiba's mother, while addressing her son, said, Okay, then what did those people answer? When the mother told her son about Sugra's relationship, Yavar said angrily, Deny this relationship, Amma. I am not at all happy with this relationship. Chef Sugar, standing in the kitchen, felt as if someone had pulled the ground from her feet. She was stunned. Amma's silence reveals that she had no disagreement with what her son Yawar said, and that she would reject Taiba's family for Jane, and you also listen with open ears. Sugar, I went to Taiba's house, otherwise I am yours. I will break my legs. When she came to pick up the food utensils, she looked at her sister with angry eyes and said that it was only by going there that you made all these flowers bloom. Otherwise, this bastard Jane would never have had the courage to send Rishta to our house. He would have eaten. He was saying while looking at Sugra with his knowing eyes. Sugra's face turned red due to the seizure, and Amma's silence felt like a jab in his heart. Just as you consider someone else's sister as free property, it is not necessary that others too. Brother Sugar said in an angry, trembling voice, You will use your tongue with me. Yawar slapped his sister hard on the face, and she fell away from the place. His head hit the wall hard, and a strong rush of blood started arguing on his face. Yes, I will shout at you. I will remind you of your status. Seeing the amazing nose style of my son, Amma wanted to explain to him, "Don't come in between, Amma." And holding mother, Yawar pushed her into the room and locked the latch from outside, and Amma kept shouting from inside the room, "What were you saying? You will remind me of my status." Yawar held her by the hair and made her stand. "Yes, I will tell you from now on, I will do everything by which you will refuse me." Sugra covered the journey from you to you, and from you to you. Yawar gave her the second slap, and now she fell on her face. Yawar, you come to your senses. Sugra, you become quiet, mother, door. While playing, constant shouting was being done. On hearing the noise, the people of the locality also gathered in the house and started knocking continuously on the door. Yawar was so obsessed that he was constantly hitting Sugar. "I will die, but I will not listen to anything you say." Yawar was beating her badly. She was misbehaving with Yawar on every slap. It was as if she was getting relief in making Yawar angry. "You are very fond of dying. I will fulfill your wish of dying by saying this Yawar will eat you." She moved towards him and saw the sharp knife in his hands. Sugra's breasts trembled. She could not even imagine that her sleeping brother would be on the verge of taking her life. "No, brother, no!" A strangled scream came out. "Please forgive me, brother. Death is the fear of even the good." She used to do a lot of things. She was a small-hearted girl who had to stand in front of her brother because of his character being slandered. She, who herself was afraid to ask for a burger from her brother, how come she is so angry today? It was such that she started talking in front of her brother. Surely her brother's attitude had made her a rebel, but it was not even in her imagination that Yawar would go to this extent, and by giving her a knife, her life started increasing. "I made a mistake. Brother, I will never speak in front of you again." Sitting on her knees, with her blood-soaked body, she folded her hands and started to open the giriya. But it was as if Yawar's heart had become a stone, which could not be melted even by the sister's giriya tool, holding it with her hands. Has Yawar gone mad because he is dragging her? Why has he become the enemy of her life? She is your mother's sister. A voice came in the lustful voice of her brother. "Please forgive me. Don't kill me." She clung to him out of fear. Yawar set her on fire with one blow, and at that very moment, people broke the door and entered inside, and everyone's eyes were wide open with surprise. The voice of Sugar, who was raising her voice for her rights, was stopped forever. Sugar, Jane's mother, went away in pain, and Yawar was taken away by the police. Ultimately, Sugra's mother could not bear the shock of his murder, and she left on her journey. Jane was extremely saddened by that unfortunate incident, and Tayaba felt sorry for herself and her home. On the contrary, Jane was extremely sorry for Yawar's thinking, and the news published in the newspaper completed the task. According to the newspaper, Maktu was planning to elope with her lover when the brother raped his sister. Jane was saddened by the murder of that innocent girl, but this news published in the newspaper broke him. He was also very angry at the media, but more than that, he was angry at his brother Yawar. This extreme step had taken her dear sister to such an extent that people started making up dark stories about her. After this news, the whole neighborhood also got a chance to talk about Sugar. This thing is useless, and not even in this world. And people just look for an opportunity to make things. They don't even spare a dead person. And his sleeping brother himself had sensed this opportunity for the people. Jane was so angry that he compared to Yawar present behind the sala. "I am very happy for you. You have silenced your sister forever. Your arrogance did not allow this. Your sister should question you for her happiness. This news has been published in the newspaper that the brother murdered his sister for running away from home. What will be the action of this disrespectful brother against those people who are throwing mud at his dear sister? You know that your sister's character was clean, but your action has tainted her character. May it be your excesses. She would not say anything in response to every injustice. She would bear it silently. She was so cowardly that she couldn't even ask for a ginger burger from you. It was you who forced her to not only stand firm in front of you, but also be rude to you. If you had cared about her happiness, she would have been ready to make the biggest sacrifice for you, but you always deprived her of even the smallest of happiness. Know that the story that starts with deprivation always ends. Is it only the duty of a brother today to close his eyes towards his sister's happiness and needs, and when the sister gives importance to her happiness, then kill her in the name of honor to remain happy? Every person has the right. If someone wants to decide for his happiness, then who are you to deprive someone of his happiness? Brothers like you who don't have even 2 coins to give to their sisters, then who gave you this right? That you deprive your sister of her happiness and kill her. Jane's voice stopped with intense emotion, and after saying all this, he bowed his head beyond the bars and left Yawar to his fate. Would you like to say something, Yawar, Room Court? I just want to request every brother who never makes your sisters yearn for even the smallest happiness. Never deprive them of their happiness, because the story that starts with deprivation always ends in the name of injustice. Fulfilling their demand, I should be given the harshest punishment. I should be made a target so that any brother thinks 1,000 times before murdering his sister, because whether the sister is his own or his, or belongs to anyone else, a sister is a sister. Tears of remorse started flowing from the eyes. Of God, become the protector of your sisters and not the enemy of their life. Sisters have a lot of respect for their brothers, and brothers should keep the honor of their respect. May Allah keep every sister's brother safe. Ameen, dear friends. How did you like today's video? Do express your valuable opinion in the comment box, and do not forget to become a part of our family by subscribing to our